In every forgotten community, in every quiet street where dreams are mocked and hope is rationed by poverty, there lives a heart that dares to imagine more. This story is not about privilege. It is not about connections, wealth, or comfort. It is about a young girl who was told to shrink her dreams, to measure her life by limitation, and to accept that the future belongs only to those who are already ahead. But somewhere between rejection and resolve, between hunger and hope, she discovered a truth the world often hides, that destiny does not ask where you come from, only whether you are willing to rise. This is the story of Zariyah. A girl born into struggle, surrounded by doubt, yet destined for greatness. And as her journey unfolds, you may find that her story is not only hers, it is also yours. Let's pray. Heavenly Father, we invite you into this story, into every tear, every struggle, and every dream that feels too heavy to carry. As this journey begins, touch the hearts of all who are watching. Breathe hope into weary souls, courage into fearful hearts, and faith into those who feel forgotten. Let every scene remind us that no life is too broken, no beginning too small, and no dream too distant when you are at the center. May your light guide every step, and may your purpose be revealed in ways that transform lives. In Jesus' name, Amen. As the story unfolds, stay with us till the very end. If Zariyah's journey speaks to your heart, kindly show your support by liking this video, sharing it with someone who needs encouragement today, and leaving a comment below. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more inspiring stories that remind us that no dream is ever too small or too late.
My daughter. If you know how many hospitals I have entered in my lifetime, where nurses looked at me like I was nothing more than a walking dead. They would ask for money before even asking my name. Today, I had already prepared my mind that death was waiting for me at the door, because I had no one to speak for me and nothing to give in return. But you came to me, held my hand, looked into my eyes, and spoke to me like I was your own father. You told me not to be afraid, that as long as I was in this place, nobody would abandon me again. That single sentence gave me more strength than all the drugs in the world. If I walk out of this hospital alive, it will not be because of medicine alone, it will be because you reminded me that my life still has value.
Sir, please don't talk like someone who is about to leave this world. You are not here by accident, and you are not here to be forgotten. This hospital was built so that people like you, people who have been ignored, forgotten, pushed aside, will finally have a place where they are not asked for money before they are asked about their pain. As long as I wear this uniform, I promise you that no one will ever make you feel small again.
It's been 3 years I buried my husband, I have lived like a shadow of myself. Every day my children look at me with eyes full of hunger and sickness, and every day I wonder whether it would have been better if I followed their father to the grave. But today, you treated I and my son freely. You even gave us food. You looked at me and called me sister. That word alone healed me more than any injection ever could.
You did not come here to kneel, you came here to rise again. God, I felt their pain, their tears, their joy. It wasn't just a dream, it was like a glimpse of a future I am meant to live. Could this be what waits for me ahead? That one day I will wear that uniform for real. And I will build that place with my own hands. Oh, I can't wait.
Sometimes I just look at this whole school thing and I start laughing at myself. Every morning, wake up early, trek long distance, carry heavy books, and for what exactly? So that after O-level they will still tell us that we must now start struggling for university, when we know very well that half of us here will not even be able to afford the form, not to talk of the school fees. Me. I'm already tired of dreaming too far. I just want to finish this secondary school, see a man that is serious, somebody that has work in town, marry him and start my own family. I don't need plenty certificates to be happy. I just want peace, A small shop maybe, and children running around me.
You know, Lara, sometimes when you talk like that I feel like you are saying exactly what is inside my heart. My mother always tells me that a woman's real achievement is her home. That no matter how far a woman goes in life, if she doesn't have a husband and children, people will still look at her as empty. So when I think about my future, I don't even see myself in university halls or wearing long gowns. I see myself in my kitchen, cooking, cleaning, welcoming my husband back from work, raising good children that will call me blessed. That is the kind of dream that gives me peace.
Nice one there. Zariyah, we have all talked. You have been quiet since. What are you planning to become? Or are you also waiting for a rich husband to save you?
Well, I want to become a nurse, but not only a nurse. I want to go to university, study hard, and one day build a big health foundation that will take care of poor people, widows, old men, old women, and children that don't have anybody to help them. I want to build clinics in villages like ours so that when people fall sick, they won't have to die because they don't have transport money to the city. Zariyah, please be serious. Do you even know what it takes to go to university? Do you know how much money it costs? Your family cannot even pay your school fees without begging. And you are talking about building clinics and foundations like rich people do.
Honestly, you need to cut your coat according to your size. This your dream is bigger than your reality. Look at where we are coming from. Look at this village. Nobody here has ever done what you are talking about. Maybe you should choose something that fits your level. Not everybody is meant to chase big dreams.
So because my parents are poor, I should reduce my dreams.
Of course, Sari.
If these words are coming from my only own friends, then maybe I really am not meant for this. Mummy, today I and my friends were talking about their future. Everybody was saying what they want to become in life, and when it got to my turn I told them I want to become a nurse, go to the university, and one day build a foundation that will help poor people, widows, old people and children who don't have anyone. But they laughed at me, Mummy. They said my dream is too big for me, that I should cut my coat according to my size. I know we don't have money, but when I close my eyes I see myself helping people, saving lives, and it makes me feel like my life has a meaning. I don't want to grow up only remembering what I couldn't do.
My daughter, I appreciate your thoughts, I really do. Any mother will be happy to hear that her child wants to save lives and help people. But thoughts don't build themselves into reality. Dreams don't walk with their legs into the university. Something pushes them there, and that something is money. Since your father died, we have been struggling to even eat twice a day. Some days, I sleep with hunger so that you can eat. I don't even know how I will register you for this O-level exam you are about to write, not to talk of paying for jam form or university.
Mummy, I know things are hard. I see you struggle every day. But if I stop dreaming because things are hard now, then what hope do I have left? I don't want to wake up in 10 years and realize I never even tried.
Zariyah, sometimes trying is not enough. I am already carrying a burden that is too heavy for me. After your senior class exams, your uncle said he will connect you to a rich man in the city. The man has a son. They are looking for a wife for him. If you marry into that house, your suffering will end. That is the only help I can give you now.
So that is it. All my dreams are just something to forget because of hunger and poverty.
My daughter, I am not killing your dreams. I am trying to save you from hunger.
So this is how it feels when a dream becomes too heavy to carry. I thought dreams were meant to make you happy, but mine is making me cry. Maybe big dreams are only for people who have money in their pockets, parents that are still alive, houses that don't leak when it rains, and connections that open doors without asking questions. Maybe girls like me are not supposed to dream loudly. Maybe we are only meant to survive quietly. Mummy said thoughts don't build themselves. She said money is what makes dreams walk into reality. And my friends laughed and told me to cut my coat according to my size. Maybe they are right. What if I continue dreaming and one day I have to drop out of school because there is no money? What if I start something I cannot finish? That pain will be worse than never starting at all. Maybe I should just accept my level, marry early, forget all these hospital pictures in my head, forget the people I saw in my dream thanking me. Maybe dreaming big is just another luxury I cannot afford. It's better to stop now, than to break later.
Listen to me very carefully, every one of you. Today is the final deadline for your A-level registration. Anybody that does not submit his or her registration money and form before the close of school today should forget about writing this examination this year. There will be no extension. I don't want to hear any story tomorrow.
Ma, good morning. Please, I just want to ask if there is any way the deadline can be shifted for me. Even if it is just 1 week. My mother is still trying to gather the money.
Zariyah, I have taught in this school for over 15 years. I have seen brilliant students lose their future because of deadlines. I wish I could change it for you, but I don't have such power. The board will close the portal. After today, it will not open again.
Ma, please, I will do anything. I don't want to be the only one left behind.
Zariyah, I am sorry. It's not in my hands.
Truly, money funds dreams. Every great thing people talk about, every life they say was changed, every story of success, it is money that walks those dreams into reality. And here I am, dreaming of going to school, dreaming of nursing school, dreaming of a foundation, and I can't even afford the little money needed to register for my O-level exams. But, maybe, just maybe, my mother has found a way. Maybe she has been able to raise something, anything. I have to go and see. I have to face her, no matter what. Maybe today, something small can keep this dream alive, or, maybe it is time to let it die. Mummy, I don't even know how to thank you. For this money, for doing this for me, even when I know we are struggling, even when I know you've told me that my dreams are too big, too heavy, thank you. I know it hasn't been easy. I know we barely have enough to eat, yet here you are, finding a way so I can at least take this small step.
Zariyah, listen to me carefully. I paid this money for you because you cannot write the exam without it. But don't mistake this for me suddenly believing in all these big dreams you talk about. I know your heart is full of hope, but thoughts don't build themselves into reality. Money builds things, effort builds things, and right now, we are barely surviving. I am already struggling just to keep food on the table, to keep you in school. Thinking about more than that, it will only break you, my child. Your dreams, the foundation, the hospitals, all of that, it's not impossible, but it is heavy, my child. And the weight you carry now, the hunger, the struggle, that alone is enough for one life. Don't let your heart break under more than it can bear.
I understand, Mummy. I know things are hard, I know you cannot help me go beyond this. But, it hurts, Mummy. It hurts that you don't believe I can do more, that you only see this one step and not the road I want to walk.
Zariyah, listen to me. I am not trying to hurt you. I am telling you what life is. You must learn to survive first. Finish your exams, pass them. That is enough for now. Stop thinking about what you cannot afford. Stop chasing dreams that will only break your heart. After your exams, you can worry about the rest. Maybe one day you will be able to dream again. But for now, your dream is too big. Let it wait.
Yes, Mummy, I understand. I will focus on passing my exams. That is all I can do for now.
To be sincere, I feel as if a huge stone has been lifted from my chest. For weeks my heart has been beating like a drum inside my body, because I kept telling myself that if I failed this examination, then my entire life would be over before it even started. You do not know what it means to walk into an examination hall when your mother has already decided that you will soon be someone's wife and not a student anymore. It is as if the questions are not written on paper but on your future. Honestly, I wrote many things I was not even sure about. I just wrote and begged God to understand what I meant.
You think that is bad? During the mathematics paper, I suddenly forgot everything I had ever read. I was staring at the paper as if it was written in another language. I kept thinking of my life after today, that if I failed, it would mean that everything I had ever hoped for was already finished. I wrote, I erased, I wrote again, my hand was shaking. When the invigilator shouted, 5 minutes left, I almost cried in front of everyone. Honestly, I think I did very well. I prepared seriously for these exams. I read at night when everyone was sleeping. I memorized topics. I prayed. I believe I will pass with excellent results. You hear this one? She is talking about excellent results as if those grades will take her to another planet.
Zariyah, let me ask you something very simple, and please answer me honestly. This morning, before you left your house, did you eat anything at all?
No.
That is exactly the point. You are here dreaming about passing with flying colors when your stomach is empty. That is what we are trying to make you understand. This country is not kind to dreamers. It is kind only to those who can survive. People who go to school are still suffering. Graduates are selling vegetables by the roadside. And you are still planning higher education as if it is a miracle ticket.
Our place is here in this community. We were born here, we will live here, we will marry here, and we will most likely die here. That is not an insult, that is reality. And reality is telling you to stop carrying dreams that are heavier than your strength.
And when that big dream of yours finally collapses, because it will collapse, do not come running back to us crying. Because we have warned you enough.
Speaking of collapse, let me bring better news. I am getting married next month. I wanted to announce it earlier, but I was waiting for the right time.
This is wonderful news. So you are finally leaving the single life.
You both must attend. You are the only true friends I have here.
And I have my own news. A man is coming this weekend to ask for my hand in marriage. 2 weeks later, I will be a wife too.
Zariyah, will you just stand there and watch us become wives and mothers while you keep chasing books? We are already 21. Time is not waiting for any woman. My mother mentioned a man too. He is supposed to come one day.
Good. Then your eyes are finally opening.
Mummy, I have been turning something over in my heart since I came back from school today, and the more I think about it, the heavier my chest becomes. You once told me that after my senior exams, my uncle would connect me to a man in the city who is looking for a wife for his son. That conversation has been playing in my head again and again, because today my friends announced that they are getting married very soon. They were laughing, screaming, planning their ceremonies, talking about dresses and food and houses. And I was sitting there smiling, but inside I felt like I was invisible, like everyone else has a direction while I am standing in the same place, waiting for life to remember me.
Zariyah, my child, you are growing fast and the world is not waiting for anyone. My daughter, when I said those words to you, it was not because I wanted to rush you into marriage. It was because I am afraid for you. Afraid that one day you will wake up and discover that time has moved ahead without you. Since your father died, I have carried worries that are heavier than I can explain. Every day I ask myself what will become of you when I am no longer strong enough to fight for you.
So it is not certain. Mummy, I am not asking because I am desperate to marry. I am asking because I am tired of waiting. I am tired of being the girl with big dreams but no clear future. When my friends talk about marriage, about moving on with their lives, I feel as if I am standing outside a closed door, knocking, while everyone else has already been invited inside.
I spoke to your uncle about the man. He told me there was someone interested, someone wealthy, someone who could change your story. But since that day, I have not heard from him again. I will call him tomorrow. I will remind him, but you must understand that not every promise comes with a guarantee. Do not build your heart around something that has not yet happened.
Mummy, what if this does not work out? What if the man never comes? What if I am left with nothing? No education, no marriage, no future. I do not want to wake up one day and realize that I spent my youth only waiting for life to happen to me. Mummy, today when my friends were talking about their weddings, I smiled, but inside I was dying. They are moving into a new chapter of life, while I am still here waiting for something, anything, to happen to me. If this man truly exists, if there is even a small chance that I can join them, I would like to. I am tired of being the girl who is always hoping and never arriving.
You are not nothing, Zariyah. Even if the man never comes, you are still my daughter. But I will try. I will call your uncle. I will ask him about the matter. We will see what God will do.
I just want to belong somewhere. Mummy, I do not want to be left behind.
Zariyah, marriage is not a competition. It is not a race that you must finish before your friends. But I understand your pain. I will call your uncle. Let us see what God will do.
Zariyah, wait for me. Please, slow down. I have been calling you since that bend, yet you did not even turn once. I almost thought maybe you no longer wanted to hear your own name. I have been following you from that bend over there, but you were walking as if something heavy was chasing you. You did not even look back once. Are you running from the world or is the world running from you? Esther, I am sorry. I was not trying to ignore you. My body is here on this road, but my mind has been in many places since morning. Some days, I feel like my thoughts are louder than the entire village. I can see that in your eyes. Your face is here, but your soul is somewhere else. Tell me, how have you been coping since you returned from school after the examinations? It has not been long, but it already feels like months. Every time I passed your house, I hoped to see you sitting outside reading or laughing, but it has been quiet, too quiet. Have been fine, at least that is what I tell myself every morning so that I can get out of bed. After the exams ended, reality returned in full force. There was no more school to hide inside, no more library to run to when hunger knocks. So I help my mother hawk, from morning till evening, so that we can survive one day at a time. Oh Zariyah, that must be so exhausting. You just finished writing one of the most important examinations of your life, yet there is no space for rest, no space for celebration, no space even to breathe properly. But tell me, how did your exams go? I have been praying for you. I kept imagining you writing boldly, like someone whose future is already waiting for her. Esther, honestly, it went smoothly. I do not want to boast, but I prepared very well. As I was writing, something inside me kept whispering that I will not fail. I am trusting God for distinction. That is beautiful to hear. Truly beautiful. But Zariyah, something has been worrying me. Since you returned, I have not seen you in church even once. Not in Sunday service, not in midweek fellowship. I kept asking myself, is she alright? Has something gone wrong? Everything is wrong and yet nothing is wrong at the same time. We are just trying to survive, Esther. Most days, church feels like a luxury that hunger does not allow. I understand your situation, but please do not cut yourself away completely. Try to squeeze out time to attend service, even if it is once in 2 weeks. Your spirit also needs food, not only your stomach. And Zariyah, I want you to know that you are not alone. I will help you in any way I can, whether it is encouragement, prayers, or anything within my power. Thank you, you do not know how much those words mean to me. By the way, I almost forgot, will you be coming for the women's seminar the church is organizing this Friday? Women's seminar. Esther, I am only 21. I thought those meetings were for married women with husbands and children, not for a girl still hawking oranges on the road. No, Zariyah, it is for all female youths too. It is meant to prepare us for the future, to open our eyes to what life can become. Okay, I will inform my mother. Mummy, I met Esther today on the road while I was hawking. You remember her, the pastor's daughter. She stopped me and asked how I was doing, and somehow I ended up telling her more than I planned. I did not even realize how heavy my heart had become until I opened my mouth and the words started falling out one after the other.
And what did she say that made your face look like this?
She asked why I have not been going to church since I returned from school. I told her we are just trying to survive, that sometimes hunger is louder than church bells. She did not judge me, Mummy. She held my hand on that dusty road and said she would help me in any way she could, even if it was just encouragement. No one has said something like that to me in a long time.
Encouragement is good, but it does not cook food.
I know, Mummy, but then she invited me to a women's seminar the church is organizing this Friday. I laughed at first. I told her I am not yet a woman, that I am just 21 and still hawking oranges on the street. But she said it is also for female youths, to prepare us for the future.
The future, everybody talks about it as if it is a gift waiting on a shelf.
Mummy, I do not know what to believe anymore. Sometimes I feel like I do not even deserve to sit in such gatherings. But when Esther spoke to me today, something in my chest shifted. I felt seen, not as a burden, not as a poor girl, but as someone who still has a future.
If you feel it will help you, then go.
Thank you, Mummy.
Do have a good night rest.
Lara, Dinah, I have been looking for both of you since morning. I know you are busy, and I know your minds are already far away in bridal shoes, guest lists, and wedding colors. Zariyah, we are listening, but please make it fast. My head is already full. The tailor has not finished my dress, the hall owner is complaining about payment, and my aunt is calling me every 5 minutes.
Honestly, if I do not arrange my wedding properly, people will start saying I disgraced myself.
I understand. Truly, I do. But what I want to tell you is important to me. Yesterday, I met Esther, and she invited me to a women's seminar the church is organizing this Friday. I did not even want to attend at first because I felt out of place, but something in me keeps telling me that this seminar might change the way I see my life. And I thought about both of you immediately. I thought about how we used to sit here years ago and talk about what we wanted to become, before fear and pressure swallowed our dreams.
Women's seminar. Zariyah, you are joking. I do not even have time to sleep properly these days. Every day is about food lists, invitation cards, family meetings. I am getting married in less than a month. My life is moving forward, I cannot pause it to attend a seminar.
Exactly. People are already coming from the city to inspect our house. I am not saying seminars are bad, but marriage is not a small thing. It is real life. I am not trying to stop you from getting married. I wish you would come with me. I wish we could walk into that hall together like we used to walk into classrooms. I wish you would hear what the speakers have to say before you close the door completely on every other dream you ever had. Zariyah, you are still thinking too much. You have always been like this. Dreaming and dreaming as if dreams alone can feed you. Some of us are choosing reality.
Marriage is our reality now. We cannot be running from program to program when life is waiting for us.
So you will not come. We are sorry, but we are too busy preparing for our ceremonies.
But we wish you well.
It's fine.
Good afternoon, my beautiful Christian women and daughters. I call you beautiful not because of the clothes you are wearing or the hairstyles you came with, but because I can see strength written all over your faces. Some of you are here with joy in your hearts, some of you are here carrying burdens nobody knows about, and some of you came here only because someone invited you and you felt you had nothing better to do today. But I want you to understand this, there is a reason you are seated in this hall right now. I want to speak to you about determination. Because no dream ever became a reality without determination standing behind it like a stubborn friend that refuses to give up. There is a saying that has survived generations. When there is a will, there is a way. I have seen it with my own eyes. I have lived it, and I am standing here today because at some point in my life, I chose to believe that the will inside me was stronger than the obstacles around me. Many of us were taught that a woman's highest achievement is marriage and motherhood. Let me say this clearly, being a wife and a mother is honorable, but it is not the only thing a woman was created to be. God did not design women as accessories to men's lives. The Bible says in Ephesians 2:10, "For we are God's workmanship, created in Christ Jesus for good works, which God prepared beforehand that we should walk in them." That scripture did not say men only. It said we, every one of us. The Proverbs 31 woman didn't just sit at a corner doing nothing to support her husband. it was from her great talent and industriousness she was able to help her husband. So if you are sitting here today thinking your dreams are too big, too wild, too unrealistic, I want you to know that heaven did not place those dreams in your heart by mistake. You can dream as far as your mind can travel, and you have the right to pursue that dream with everything in you. But I must warn you, every dream has enemies. One of the most dangerous enemies of success is bad company. The Bible tells us in 1 Corinthians 15:33, do not be deceived, bad company corrupts good character. You eventually become the kind of person you surround yourself with. If you sit among people who gossip about others every day, you will become a gossiper. If you sit among people who mock your ideas, you will begin to mock your own dreams. If you stay in circles where people complain about life from morning till night, you will slowly forget how to believe in possibilities. I have seen brilliant women lose themselves because they refused to change their environment. Growth does not happen in circles of mockery and complaint. Growth happens when you intentionally remove yourself from places that shrink you and step into spaces that stretch you. So I am challenging you today, find people who lift your spirit, not those who drain it. Find people who speak possibilities, not those who speak limitations. Because until you change your circle, you may never change your story. And finally, my daughters, I want you to remember this: you are not too poor to dream. You are not too young to begin. You are not too broken to rise again. If you leave this hall today with nothing else, leave with the understanding that your life is bigger than the environment that currently surrounds you. Go for what you want. Do not allow anyone, no circumstance, no community, no background, no poverty, no fear to stop you. Go for what God has placed in your heart, because when God is fully backing you, no obstacle is too big, no mountain too steep, no river too wide. Remember what the Bible says in Jeremiah 29:11, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." My daughters, do you hear that? God has already planned your success. He has already written your story, and it is a story of hope, of abundance, of fulfillment. But here is the key: you must act. You must take the steps He puts before you. You must move forward with courage, even when no one else believes in your dreams. Today is the day to begin. And I promise you, when God is fully backing you, you will achieve all that He planned for you.
Esther, I am not even sure how to say what is happening inside me right now. For years, I have been carrying a voice inside me that keeps whispering, "Your dreams are not for people like you." I have tried to silence it, but today, that voice finally lost its strength. It is like the speaker looked directly into my life, my poverty, my fears, the way people laugh at me when I talk about becoming something greater than my background, and she answered every question I have been too ashamed to ask. When she spoke about determination, I felt as if she was talking to the girl who hawks on the road and still studies at night with candlelight. When she said that background is not the enemy of success, I remembered every time I felt embarrassed to tell people where I came from. It was like my pain had been given language, and my confusion had finally been understood. I was watching you, Zariyah. You were not blinking. You were not moving. It was as if your heart had been placed on the table in front of everyone. That is exactly how I felt. Esther, nobody has ever told me that my dreams were valid. Not my friends, not my family, not even myself. For so long, I have been shrinking my desires so that I do not look foolish in the eyes of people who stopped dreaming long ago. But today, something inside me stood up and said, enough. Enough of apologizing for wanting more. Enough of acting as though survival is all I was created for. And what do you want to do now? I want to act. I do not want to only dream anymore. I want to start somewhere, even if it is small, even if it is slow. I do not know how I will become a nurse. I do not know how I will help the poor the way I see in my heart. But I know I will never forgive myself if I return to my old life pretending today did not change me. Then do not return. Let today mark the day you chose to believe in yourself. Thanks for telling me about today. If I had missed today, maybe I would have missed my life. Mummy, please, before you say anything, I want you to listen to me with the same patience you used when I was a child who could not even explain her dreams properly. I went for that seminar today, and I know you warned me that motivational talks often sound sweet but do not always change reality. But something happened inside me that I cannot describe with excitement alone. It was as if for the first time in many years, I heard a voice that was not fear, not poverty, not pressure from my friends, but my own. For so long, I have been trying to shape my life around other people's expectations. When my friends started getting married, I suddenly thought that marriage was my only escape from struggle. That is why I asked you about the man my uncle mentioned. But Mummy, I was not ready for marriage. I was only running away from myself.
Zariyah, this is not how you normally talk.
Because I have never allowed myself to speak this truth before. I have always believed that big dreams belong to rich girls. Girls whose parents can pay school fees without counting coins. Girls whose families have connections. But today, listening to that woman speak about determination, about God's plans, about refusing to let one's background define one's ending, I realize that I have been insulting the God who created me by assuming he made a mistake with my life. Mummy, please forget about that man you spoke of earlier. I do not want to marry just because my friends are getting married. I do not want to borrow someone else's life when I have not yet tried to live my own. I want to pursue my dream, not recklessly, not arrogantly, but with determination. When there is a will, there is a way, and for the first time, I feel that my will is finally awake.
My daughter, I am afraid that you are letting the excitement of today carry you away. I have heard many powerful speeches in my lifetime. They lift you in the moment, but tomorrow morning hunger will still knock, bills will still wait, and reality will still demand answers. Words alone cannot change a family's situation.
I am not asking words to change our lives overnight. I am asking for the chance to change myself. I am tired of living in fear of what I might become if I fail. I would rather risk failing while trying than succeed at living a life I never chose.
Zariyah, you are speaking from a place I have never heard before.
Because tonight, Mummy, I finally believe I am worth the effort. And whatever happens from now on, I will no longer blame my background for my future.
If you have truly decided on the path you want to follow, then go. I have done all I can for you.
Thank you, Ma. Good morning. I am sorry to disturb you while you are working, but I have been standing here for almost 10 minutes trying to gather the courage to speak to you. I am not here because I am sick. I am here because my heart will not let me rest. I want to become a nurse someday, and I do not know where to start or what it really takes. I only know that whenever I see sick people, something inside me wants to help instead of looking away.
Good morning. That is not a disturbance at all. It is rare to see someone walk into this place not because of illness, but because of purpose. Tell me your name.
Zariyah, and I feel foolish standing here like this, because everyone in my community believes dreams like this are too big for someone like me. But I am tired of hiding behind fear. I read at night with candles, sometimes until my eyes hurt, because I cannot afford electricity or coaching lessons. I want to know the truth, not the sugar-coated version. What does it really take to become a nurse?
Zariyah, becoming a nurse is not a shortcut to success. It is a road filled with discipline, sacrifice, and moments when you will wonder if you chose the right path. You will study anatomy until your head aches. You will stay awake for long hours in the hospital watching people suffer, sometimes losing patients you prayed would live. But if you love people deeply, if you are willing to serve even when no one thanks you, then nursing will not just be a career, it will be your calling.
That is exactly how I feel. I am not scared of hard work. I am scared of wasting my life. I want to know that one day I stood in places like this not as a visitor but as someone who truly belongs here.
Then start preparing now. Read books. I'll be here for you to ask questions when you have them. I'll give you your first weapon, knowledge. I will bring a few of my textbooks tomorrow. They are simple enough to understand, yet deep enough to stretch your mind. I want you to read them slowly, not to cram, but to understand. Underline anything you do not understand, and come back here to ask me. I will not promise you an easy journey, Zariyah, but I promise you will not walk it alone.
Thank you, Ma. You have no idea what this means to me. People in my life only see what I lack, but today, you are seeing what I can become.
Then let this clinic be your silent teacher. Come here whenever you can. Watch how we do things, how we speak to people who are afraid. Nursing is not just about injections and drugs. It is about touching lives when they are at their weakest.
I will come, and I strongly believe that one day, I will stand here in this uniform, not as a visitor, but as a nurse who refused to cut her coat according to her size.
Somebody please help. My brother suddenly collapsed on the road. He was walking normally this morning, talking to me like everything was fine, and suddenly his body, it started convulsing violently, his eyes rolling, and foam coming out of his mouth. I do not know what to do. I tried to carry him here as fast as I could, but no one is here, nobody. Please, I beg you, I cannot lose him, I cannot.
Sir, listen to me carefully. I am not a nurse yet. I know that might sound frightening, but I have spent hours, days, reading and learning what to do in emergencies like this. I cannot sit here and watch while your brother suffers. Please, gently lower him to the floor. Do not hold him too tightly, because if he thrashes, he might hurt himself. Keep him on his side so he does not choke. Everything I have studied tells me that our first responsibility is to keep him safe until professional help arrives.
Are you sure? Are you a medical personnel? You have read books, yes, but this is real life. He could die in my hands, and I cannot carry that on me.
Listen to me, please. I do not claim to know everything, and I cannot promise miracles. But what I can promise is that I will not let him suffer alone. Fear will not help him breathe, panic will not slow the seizure, but calm, careful action can save him. I need you to trust me, even for these few minutes, and follow my instructions exactly.
I am trying to follow what you are saying, but he has never done this before. He was healthy. Why would this happen to him? We have no money for hospital emergencies. My parents, they are gone. I am all he has, and I feel like I am failing him.
I know it feels terrifying. I know it feels like the whole world has left him to die, and that you are alone in carrying this burden. But this moment, as frightening as it is exactly why dreams like mine are born. Dreams of helping, of acting, of standing when no one else will. Look at me. We will not allow panic to steal this life. Right now, the most important thing is keeping him safe. Keep your hands gentle. Keep your voice calm. Speak to him. Tell him he is not alone. That is more powerful than any medicine at this very moment.
I see it. He is slowing down. How are you doing this? You are not even a nurse. How can you keep so calm when I feel like I am about to collapse?
Because for the first time, I understand that fear will never save anyone. I am scared too, Ibrahim. My hands are shaking. My heart is racing. But this is bigger than my fear. This is about someone's life. Someone who cannot fight for himself at this moment. And I refuse to let him suffer because I was too small or too afraid.
Zariyah. What happened?
He collapsed. I turned him on his side, kept his airway clear, loosened his clothes, and kept him talking to prevent shock.
You did exactly the right thing. You probably prevented a serious complication.
You saved him. And you said you were not a nurse, yet.
Not yet. But today, I did not wait to become someone I am destined to be. Today, I stopped waiting for others to believe in me, and I acted. Today, I learned that courage is not born from permission, it is born from necessity and heart. How strange life is, how fragile and unpredictable, how one moment a person walks freely in the sun, and the next, they are fighting for every single breath, teetering on the edge of death. And yet, here I am. I, Zariyah, who has spent my entire life being told I am too small, too poor, too insignificant to achieve anything remarkable, have just done something no one thought I could. I have acted, not because someone handed me permission, not because I had a certificate, not because I had a uniform or a badge. I acted because I could not do nothing, because in that instant, my fear, my self-doubt, my trembling hands, did not matter. What mattered was life. What mattered was love. What mattered was courage. I have spent years thinking that dreams belong only to the rich, the privileged, the chosen. I believed that ambition was a dangerous luxury when there is barely enough money to eat, when the roof leaks, when the world seems determined to remind you every day that you are nothing. But today has shown me that dreams do not belong to money. They do not belong to status. They belong to the heart that refuses to stay small. They belong to the soul that refuses to be silenced. They belong to the girl who, even in darkness, reaches for knowledge, for action, for life itself. I could have waited. I could have sat here with my candle, reading my old biology book, wondering if I was brave enough, imagining myself as someone else, somewhere else, in some faraway hospital. But I did not. And in this small, dusty village clinic, I touched the first step of my calling. I felt what it is to act, to intervene, to risk, to believe that life is bigger than fear. From this moment on, I will no longer apologize for wanting more. I will no longer hide my dreams behind excuses, behind poverty, behind the voices of those who laughed at me, who told me I was too young, too poor, too unworthy. I am not too young. I am not too poor. I am not unworthy. The same hands that held my father's, that helped my mother hawk food under the scorching sun, that stayed awake by candlelight memorizing anatomy and physiology, those hands can heal, those hands can lift, those hands can build the life I have always imagined. I will study harder than ever. I will observe, I will ask, I will learn. I will make mistakes, but I will never allow inaction to rob me of life. I will save lives, I will heal, I will serve. And one day, not far from now, I will not only be a nurse, I will be the woman who dared to dream when nobody believed in her, the woman who built for the poor, the widows, the abandoned children, the one who turned a village's hopelessness into hope. Today I became more than my peers. Today I became more than what the world thought I could be. Today, I stepped into the person I was born to be. And from now on, I will never turn back.
Grace, I need to speak with you about something that has been weighing heavily on my mind since yesterday evening. The young man who was brought in during the seizure episode, Sadiq, is responding extremely well to treatment, far better than I anticipated given how critical his condition was when he arrived. I have been reviewing the notes, and I noticed something unusual. The first response recorded in the incident report was not done by any of our trained staff.
Yes, sir. That was Zariyah.
Zariyah? I do not recall any nurse by that name on my roster.
She is not a nurse yet, sir. She is a young woman from the community who often comes here to read my textbooks and observe quietly. She was the only one in the clinic when the boy collapsed.
So let me understand this properly. A medical emergency happened in this facility, there was no qualified staff present at the time, and a girl with no formal training took control of the situation, turned the patient on his side, ensured airway safety, prevented aspiration, and stabilized him until professional help arrived?
Yes, sir. And she did not panic. She spoke to the brother calmly, she reassured the patient, and she applied everything she had been learning from the books I lent her.
That is not coincidence, Grace. That is instinct married to preparation. Very few people, even among trained nurses, can keep that level of composure when death is staring at them in the face. I want to meet this girl. I do not want her name written in a file only, I want to see her, hear her story, understand what kind of fire burns in someone who can rise like that without a title.
She will be here this afternoon, sir. She never misses a day.
Good. Please tell her that the doctor in charge of this clinic would like to speak with her personally. And Grace, Make sure she understands that this is not a reprimand. This is an invitation, one that might just redirect the course of her entire life.
All right, sir.
Ah, Zariyah, so this is where you have been hiding all this while. Ever since our weddings, we have not seen you at home, not at the market where your mother sells, not even passing on the road. We kept asking ourselves whether marriage carried us into another world and left you behind in the old one, or whether you suddenly became too busy for your childhood friends. It is not that I disappeared, Lara. Life simply became louder for me inside than outside. I have been moving between home and the clinic, trying to understand myself better and understand what I truly want from this life. But tell me, how has married life been treating both of you? I see the glow on your faces. It is difficult to hide joy when it is genuine.
My dear, marriage is sweet when you enter it with excitement. It feels like you have finally stepped into the world of adults, where people stop asking when you will settle down. And to crown it all, both of us are pregnant already. Before this year ends, we will be mothers. Can you imagine that? Us. The same girls who once shared pencils and dreams under the mango tree.
Yes, Zariyah, pregnancy changes the way you see life. Suddenly you are no longer living for yourself alone. Someone is growing inside you, someone who will depend on you for everything. It gives life a different meaning. But tell us, Zariyah, what about the man you said your mother's brother was bringing to pay your bride price? Has he come, or has he also vanished like you did? No, he has not come. And to be honest with you, I am no longer waiting for him. I am 22 years old, and I have finally realized that I still have years ahead of me, years to grow, to learn, to become the woman I believe God planned for me to be. I do not want to rush into marriage simply because everyone else has done so. I want to be useful to myself, to my family, to this community, and to the world at large, even to my husband to be before I decide to settle down. So what are you saying, Zariyah? That because we married early, we are now useless? That our choices are inferior to yours? No, that is not what I mean at all. I admire your courage and your commitment. I only speak for myself. I do not want to enter marriage as a burden to another person. I want to walk into that season with something to offer: wisdom, purpose, contribution.
You and your big grammar. Keep chasing your dreams, my sister. Before you know it, you will wake up one morning, 40 years old, and suddenly discover that men are no longer lining up to marry you. That is when reality will hit you hard.
Yes, Zariyah, life does not wait for dreamers forever. While you are busy building castles in the air, we are already building families on the ground. Maybe I will wake up one day fulfilled, knowing that I did not betray my calling just to fit into a timeline designed by fear. Only time will tell which of us truly listened to her heart.
Later that day.
Zariyah, nice meeting you.
Thank you, sir.
You do not need to look like you are about to be judged by a court of law. I have been practicing medicine in communities like this for more years than you have been alive, and in all those years I have learned one thing that books cannot teach: when someone acts with wisdom in the middle of chaos, it is not coincidence, it is destiny revealing itself. What you did the other day was not a mistake or a disturbance, it was a remarkable display of courage and awareness. In my years of medical practice, I have seen trained staff freeze in emergencies, yet you, with no uniform, no certificate, no formal permission, chose to act when life was hanging by a thread. Tell me, my child, why did you do it?
Sir, at that moment I did not think of rules, certificates, or fear. I only thought of the countless nights I have spent reading borrowed books by candlelight, trying to understand how the human body works because something in me refuses to accept that my life should end in limitation. When I saw him lying there, shaking, gasping, his brother crying like the world was ending, I felt this deep, almost painful pull in my chest, as if every page I had read was begging me not to betray it by doing nothing. I was terrified, sir, but my fear was not stronger than my desire to save a life.
That kind of response does not grow in empty soil. It grows in someone who has been preparing even when no one was watching. But then I must ask you a question that has troubled me since I read that report. If your passion is this intense, if your instincts are this sharp, why are you not already in nursing school? Why are you hiding in the corners of this clinic reading other people's books instead of walking confidently into your future?
Because my world does not give permission easily, sir. My father died when I was young. My mother has carried the weight of survival alone ever since. Some days we worry more about what we will eat than about what I will become. Paying for exams already feels like climbing a mountain. Paying for nursing school feels like trying to touch the sky. People tell me to forget my dreams and accept marriage as my destiny, because that is what girls like me are expected to do. But something inside me keeps whispering in me after I heard a woman speak in church that my life was not designed only for survival, but for service to God and humanity.
Zariyah, the tragedy of our world is not lack of talent. It is lack of opportunity. I have watched brilliant minds fade into mediocrity because no one stood in the gap for them. But today, I am choosing not to let that happen again. I will sponsor your nursing training for this first phase. I am not giving you charity. I am investing in potential. And if I continue to see the seriousness, the discipline, and the humility you have already shown, I will not abandon you halfway. I will walk this journey with you until you become the nurse you were born to be.
Sir, for years I have prayed quietly, asking God if my dreams were foolish. Today you have answered a question I was too afraid to ask aloud. I promise you, with every breath in my body, I will not waste this gift. I will study, I will serve, I will rise, not for myself alone, but for every girl who was told that her dreams were too big for her background.
Zariyah, the path will not be easy. There will be challenges, long nights, sacrifices, and moments when doubt creeps in. But I promise you this, if you carry the seriousness you have shown so far, if you act with the same courage and dedication, nothing in this world will be able to stop you from fulfilling what you were created to do. Before anything else, I want to meet your mother. Dreams need witnesses. Bring her to me, so she too can see that this future is not imagination anymore, but a plan in motion.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Next day.
Oh, my child, my precious Zariyah, I do not even know where to begin. I cannot begin to describe what I feel right now. All these years, I worried and feared for you. I thought I was protecting you, guiding you, making sure you stayed safe in a world that I know is cruel and harsh to girls who dream too big. Every time I told you to be careful, to temper your ambitions, to stop dreaming beyond our reach, it was not because I wanted to crush your spirit, no, it was because I saw the burden of our reality. I knew the weight of our poverty, the difficulty of surviving without a father, the impossibility of paying school fees or university tuition, and I wanted to shield you from disappointment, from heartbreak, from watching doors close over and over. But today I see something I could not see before. I see a miracle, a door opening where there seemed to be walls. I see God Himself answering prayers I was too blind to hear. I see you, my daughter, my strong, brilliant, determined daughter, being given a chance, a real chance, to step into the life you were created to live. I want to ask your forgiveness, Zariyah, for the times I discouraged you, for the moments I doubted you, for every word I spoke out of fear that may have made you feel small or hopeless. It was never my desire to limit your spirit. I see now that my vision was clouded by circumstance, and that it was never meant to be your limit.
Mama, please, do not blame yourself. You did what you could with the knowledge and strength you had at the time. You taught me to survive, to be strong, to persevere in the face of struggle. I am standing here today because of you, because even when you doubted, you still gave me life, and you still loved me fiercely. But this is my moment to dream, to act, to step beyond what fear and circumstance told us was possible. Today, God opened a door through Drive. Adebayo, and it is not just a door for me, Mama, it is a window for both of us to see what hope really looks like.
Oh, my child, my beautiful daughter, I am so proud of you. You went beyond my vision, beyond my fear, and now I understand what I could not see before, that God planted greatness in your heart and no circumstance, no poverty, no voice of doubt, could ever erase it. I am grateful, oh, I am so grateful to Him. I thank Him for not letting our limitations become the end of your story. I thank him for putting someone in your path, someone like Dr. Adebayo who could see what I could not, someone who believes in you when even I did not understand the depth of your calling. You have taught me something today, Zariyah. You have taught me that faith is more powerful than fear, that determination can rise above every obstacle, and that sometimes, children can show parents what courage truly is. I forgive you if ever you felt I did not believe in you, but know this, I believe now, more than ever. And I will stand with you every step of the way. I will pray, I will support, I will encourage, and I will rejoice with you in every success.
Mama, this is just the beginning. I will work harder than anyone expects, study harder than anyone believes possible, and serve with every fiber of my being. I will not allow this opportunity to pass me by. And when I succeed, when I finally build the life I have always dreamed of, when I help the sick, the poor, the widows, the abandoned children, you will know that your daughter did not just survive, she rose. And I will make you proud, Mama. I will show you that the impossible is never impossible when God is in it.
Oh, my child, my heart cannot hold this much joy. I will pray, I will watch over you, and I will celebrate every step. But you are the miracle I prayed for all along. Go, my daughter, go and show the world the woman I knew was in you all along.
Years later.
God has brought me, from the little girl who hawked alongside her mother just to survive, to the girl who stared at old, borrowed textbooks by candlelight, to the young woman who dared to act when life demanded courage, and finally, to this, a foundation that gives hope, life, and dignity to the hopeless. Every tear shed in loneliness, every discouraging word from friends or family, every sleepless night spent reading and learning, God's unlimited grace and mercy, Dr. Franklin, Nurse Grace, a determination not to give up and look down on myself, my mother's love and prayer, all of it has led to this moment.
Zariyah, finally you made it. After all these years, we managed to come and see what you've been up to. We heard about this place, we couldn't believe it until we saw it with our own eyes. Look at this is massive. How did you even do all this?
Yes, oh, Zariyah, we came expecting to see a small clinic, maybe 1 or 2 rooms, but this. I mean, it's huge. There are so many people. Look at the nurses, the children, the adults waiting for care, we are just standing here stunned. Tell us, how did you turn your dream into this reality? It's not magic, my friends, and it wasn't easy. It was prayer, determination, and action. I studied when no one could afford proper books for me. I sought guidance, I worked tirelessly day and night, and I refused to let discouragement steal my dreams. Every hardship, every sleepless night, every voice that said I could not, I took them as fuel. And today, I simply continue what I started years ago, helping those who have no one, those who feel forgotten.
Zariyah, I have to confess, seeing you here, accomplishing so much, it makes me reflect on my life. I love my husband, I love my children, but marriage is harder than we imagined. My husband complains constantly, small things turn into arguments, and there are days I feel like I'm trapped in a loop of duties, chores, and expectations with no time for myself.
Me too, and don't get me started on pregnancy and childcare, it's exhausting. I thought it would be different. I thought love would make life easier, but sometimes, it feels like all our energy goes into surviving each day. And when I see what you've done, Zariyah, I feel, I don't know, a mix of pride and frustration. We were your childhood friends, we laughed, we dreamed, but here we are, and look at you. Listen to me, my dear friends. I am not here to make you feel small or to suggest that your choices were wrong. Marriage, motherhood, they are beautiful, honorable paths. But what I want you to see is this: life does not only happen to us, we make it happen. Even in marriage, even as mothers, even when responsibilities are heavy, we can choose to act, to grow, to create meaning beyond our immediate circumstances. You complain that your husbands are demanding, that your daily lives are tiring, that you feel trapped. I hear you, but let me ask you, are you giving yourself permission to pursue something for you, something that nourishes your heart and mind? Are you allowing your dreams to breathe, even in the midst of duties? Because if you do not, resentment builds, frustration grows, and happiness slips through your fingers.
But Zariyah, we are already carrying responsibilities we cannot escape. How do you expect us to chase dreams when we cannot even breathe freely in our own homes?
I understand, truly I do. I was once told to accept my lot, to wait for the world to provide, to shrink my dreams because my circumstances were small. But nothing will grow unless we nurture it. Dreams are like gardens. If you neglect them, they wither. You must find the small spaces of time to water them, to tend them, to feed them. Even if it is 1 hour a day, even if it is a thought in your mind while doing chores, you must refuse to let your life be consumed entirely by what others expect or demand. I never thought about it like that. We complain so much, we feel stuck, but maybe there is something we can still do for ourselves, even now. Yes, my friends, it is never too late. Your marriages, your children, they are blessings, but they are not limits. You can still grow, you can still serve, still learn, still pursue a passion that fills your soul. The world does not stop for anyone, and if we wait until the perfect moment, it may never come. Remember, at first I did not have support, I did not have wealth, I did not even have certainty that someone like Dr. Adebayo would see me, but I had faith, determination, and action. That is what turns dreams into reality. And my dear friends, that same power exists in each of you. You just have to decide to wield it.
You are incredible, Zariyah. Truly, I never imagined someone from our little village, facing the challenges you faced, could achieve all this. You are inspiring, and also a little terrifying.
Yes, terrifying because it makes us realize how much time we wasted worrying instead of acting. But also, inspiring because it shows that if we dare to dream and act, there is still hope. Exactly. Use what you have now, start where you are, and never stop believing in your potential. Your life does not have to be limited by complaints or difficulties. Serve your family, yes, but do not forget to serve your dreams too. That is how fulfillment grows, even in the midst of challenges. Friends, I know we have spent a long time talking about dreams, purpose, frustration, and hope. And I hope, truly, that our conversation reminded you of your own power, your own potential, and the life you can still shape for yourselves. But there is something else I want to share with you today, something very personal. An invitation to my wedding. I would be deeply honored if both of you would join me in celebrating not just my marriage, but also the journey that brought me here, the journey of faith, determination, and perseverance. Zariyah, this is, I don't even know what to say. Your wedding, and after everything you've done, everything you've built, you are inviting us to share in your joy. Oh, my dear friend, my heart, it's overflowing.
Yes. Yes, Zariyah, I cannot believe this. You went from a girl in our village, struggling, doubted, discouraged, to a woman with a foundation, a life-changing mission, and now, marrying someone who clearly respects and loves you. This is incredible. I am so proud of you, and so grateful to be part of your life, to witness your journey firsthand.
Thank you, my friends. Truly, I want you to be there not just because of the wedding, but because you have been part of my life since childhood. You were there through the laughter, the dreams, the doubts, and even the discouragement. And now, I want to celebrate not only the union of my heart with someone who loves me, but also the realization that faith, courage, and persistence do bear fruit. I want you to know that life is not just about marriage, or children, or waiting for circumstances to be perfect. It is about pursuing purpose, embracing opportunities, and celebrating milestones, big and small, with those who mattered in your journey. You have both inspired me in ways you may not even realize, and now I wish to share my joy with you as sisters, as friends, and as witnesses to God's faithfulness in our lives. Oh, Zariyah, we have watched you rise, and now to see you inviting us, it feels surreal. I can hardly put into words what I feel. I am overjoyed, humbled, and I feel inspired all over again. Your courage, your determination, your refusal to let anyone limit your dreams. It is a lesson I will carry for the rest of my life.
Yes, and your invitation, it's not just for a wedding. It is a celebration of life, hope, perseverance, and faith. I feel blessed to witness your story, to learn from it, and to see that no matter the struggles, no matter the nagging, no matter the doubts, a woman who believes in herself, who prays, and who acts, can achieve wonders.
Exactly. Life will always challenge us, friends. Marriage, motherhood, poverty, criticism, these things will never end. But we have a choice. We can shrink, complain, and feel defeated, or we can act, we can dream, and we can live courageously. Today, I celebrate not just my union, but the triumph of faith, perseverance, and vision. And I want both of you there, not just as guests, but as witnesses that dreams, even the wildest ones, can come true. Zariyah, I will be there. And not just for your wedding, I will be there to support you, to cheer you on, to celebrate every step of your incredible journey.
Yes, count me in too. And Zariyah, thank you for reminding us that even in the midst of our struggles, we are capable of so much more than we think.
This is why I never gave up. Not because I wanted fame, wealth, or comfort. Not because I wanted to prove people wrong. But because I believed, even when no one else did, that my life could touch others, that my hands could heal, that my dreams could build more than a life for myself, they could build hope for an entire community, maybe even generations. Finally a dream come true.
As the sun sets over the village, and the laughter of children and the grateful voices of those helped by Zariyah's foundation fill the air, we are reminded that dreams, no matter how impossible they seem, are never beyond reach when God is at the center of your life. Zariyah's journey shows us that circumstances do not define destiny, that poverty is never a barrier to purpose, and that discouragement from friends or family cannot extinguish a fire fueled by faith and perseverance. In Jeremiah, it is written, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you a hope and a future." Zariyah believed this promise, even when all seemed lost. She acted, she persevered, and she let God guide every step. Her story is a testimony that a woman is not created merely to be a wife or a mother, but to fulfill her calling, to shine her light, to serve, to lead, and to leave a legacy that will outlast her lifetime. And she did so not in spite of her background, but because she refused to let it limit her vision. To you watching today, remember this: the companions you keep, the voices you listen to, and the choices you make every day will either lift you or hold you back. Surround yourself with faith, determination, and people who believe in your dreams. Let go of mockery, negativity, and fear disguised as advice. Stand boldly, pray fervently, and act relentlessly. Because when there is a will, and when God's purpose is your anchor, there is always a way. Just as Zariyah transformed her life, she transformed the lives of countless others. And so can you. Dearly beloved viewers, let's pray. Heavenly Father, we lift up every heart weighed down by circumstance, by doubt, by past struggles, or by the voices of those who say you cannot. Lord, remind them today that their beginnings do not define their endings. Give them courage to dream boldly, wisdom to act faithfully, and strength to persevere when the road seems impossible. Open doors where there seems to be none, provide help where it is lacking, and let them see that with you, all things are possible. May they rise above limitations, shine in their purpose, and fulfill the destiny you have ordained for them. In Jesus' name, Amen. If Zariyah's story has inspired you to dream boldly, trust God, and take action, don't keep it to yourself. Like this video, leave a comment sharing your thoughts, share it with friends and family who need encouragement, and subscribe to the Christian Inspiration channel for more stories of faith, hope, and life-changing inspiration.